that's longer than the ones you're seeing predominantly, that's a trainer. And you can see it down here in the row that's coming up on your left. The third plane from the end has a big long canopy. That's for training. But they rotate in and out regularly because right now, of course, some of them are getting very high time for their operations in the Gulf. And I don't see any open slots. Usually there'll be 3 or 4 where they exchange planes in and out. Okay, on the right are some of the recently retired Navy F-14 Tomcats. This is a Top Gun. It's a swing wing aircraft, very capable and high performance, very expensive to operate. We're retiring these. It made its last deployment last January. They flew the last squadron out at the end of April. You can see on the tails they've all got their squadron insignia or mottos or whatever. Very fine airplane, very expensive. On the right are wing sections from the A-10 Thunderbolt II that are being reworked in order to extend their life. Airplanes' main wing structures is what usually goes first, and in order to keep them flying, why they have to rework them. This will extend their lives probably out to 2020, 26. Lots of F-14s. There's some in the distance on the right are some F-18s that have been retired. These are all planes, remember, that are kept in flying condition. On the left, I don't know how they can jog on a day-to-day. That's not, I would not give anybody an A for brain power in that condition. 5 in the morning is better, or 8 at night. Does that sound better? Okay. On the left, we have what we call conformal pylons that fitted on the wing of B-52 bombers. Each carried 6 cruise missiles. These are from the planes that have been scrapped in accordance with the Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty with the Russians, and they're kept as spares. Some are, I don't understand why they need them, that many, but ours isn't what to do. Think about it. We're not supposed to rationalize. It's called an OV-1 Mohawk. This is a Grumman build aircraft for the U.S. Army, fixed wing, which is rather unusual, because usually the Army flies helicopters. This is a fixed wing aircraft used for observation light attack in Vietnam. Next to it we have a Navy carrier-based airplane called an S-2 Tracker. This was used for fighting submarines. Carried a sensor called a sonobuoy, which was a floating device that lowered a hydrophone into the water about 200 feet, and that's how they tracked and discovered submarines. Right now, California, for instance, has about 50 of these they're using to fight forest fires. Propeller-driven, piston-powered. On the right, we have another Navy plane that was carrier-based called the C-2 Greyhound. This operates in a mission called the COD. COD is Carrier On Board Delivery. This is the plane that takes engines, people, mail, money, parts aboard an aircraft carrier to the sea. And still operating. It's the main source. Okay, on the left we have an F-18 Hornet. You notice it has a different kind of a protective cover. This is for money. This cover might cost only $5,000 or $6,000, whereas to completely spray lat the aircraft might cost them $20,000, $25,000. So it saves money. Both the Marines and the Navy use this type. I haven't seen it there. The only thing, you may see one here with a canvas cover on its nose later down on the B-1 Lancer, which is an Air Force aircraft. Okay, on the right is the predecessor of the C-2, C-1 Trader. Again, hot airplane, but this came out in the 50s, whereas the C-2 came out in the 70s. And on the left we have the first of a series of helicopters. You'll notice on the nose of the first one, the H-3 Sea King, there's looks like a breathing tube that comes out right in the center. That's how you get the spray line off. You yank on that, it's a handle. You yank on it and it peels. Starts to peel, then you just take your hand and keep tugging. The plane is used for several missions in the Navy, one of which is Sea Air Rescue, another one is ASW, another one could be for supply. It used a sensor called dipping sonar, lowered this listening device into the water, hovered over one spot, lowered it into the water, and that's how they tracked and discovered submarines. Pretty much the state of the art today. On the right we have a military version of a standard commercial airliner called the C-131 Samaritan. Samaritan because of the service it was used for medical evacuation, navigation training, cargo, carry people. In the civilian world it was called the twin-engine Convair Model 340, which was used extensively throughout the world for medium range transit. On the left you have the H-2C Sprite, which is just a small version of an ASW helicopter. Had all the same sensors as the bigger one. The only difference is it would fly off of a smaller ship, a destroyer or frigate, whereas the other would